The champ is here.
We will definitely not shut up and dribble.
The champ is here. I must be the greatest. The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Yes. Welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man.
Yeah, mate.
Yes, he's the DB of the show, giving you that press coverage. All right, man, we are Black in Sports. Give it a voice to the culture where we will not shut up and dribble. All right, we're here to interview the best professionals in the game and in the boardroom, covering it all, laughing at it all, while providing a platform to be heard. All right, so you know what we do about this time. We'd like to welcome our guests here today. So, I'm going to call him Mr. Get Buckets. All right, and we'll get into that in a minute. But he's a father, Muslim, husband, coach, professional basketball player, and an owner of a financial advisory firm. We happy to have Richard Roby in the house. Clap it up.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here with y'all today.
Okay.
Yes, sir,
Well, let's get into it, man. So how we like to start things is we need you to give us a shoot your shot moment, all right? Where it was do or die, now or never. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to go get it. It could have been any time in life, but a shoot your shot moment. Go.
What do you mean? I'm confused.
Oh,
Shoot your shot.
shoot your shot, man, where you go for it all, where it's just like, hey, I'm going to get things done, or I'm going to try this without fail. Just like I went for it. Where there's like, yo, I'm going to go get this girl's number, or hey, I'm going to go after this job. Just a shoot your shot moment.
Let me think. So I think when I went to prep school, when I left high school, I had to travel 3,000 miles away to go to prep in Massachusetts. That was a big move. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So
sir.
my mom kind of pushed us to do it. When we got the videotape back then, we looked at the school man, look at all the trees, the grass. I'm from California. I never seen anything like that before.
Right.
I thought I was going to college. So that was probably a big move young that I had to make that really changed the direction of my life.
Nice.
Right on. We're Lawrence Academy, right?
Correct.
Knapsack.
Yep, knapsack. You know something about that?
So I grew up in a military family, so I've been around a lot of little places. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I lived in Massachusetts for a little bit.
What part?
You know where Milton, Mass is?
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
So I was there, and my little brother coached at I can't think of the prep school right now, but yeah, we went to a couple tournaments out there and everything like that. So I know that world. That's a steep
yeah.
world.
A little different.
Who's some of the guys that you play with?
Play with?
Yeah, some of the guys you play with.
I played with, in high school we played with Antoine Wright.
Okay,
He was drafted by New Jersey.
Yep.
We all went to the same junior high school, same high school.
Okay.
We got a chance to compete against each other in college. He's one of the dudes. My best friend, Sylvester Say, was at prep school with me. He went to Fresno State.
Yep.
Graduated with there. He was there with Paul George. Another guy, Alvin Reed, he's from San Bernardino as well. He went to Colgate University. He had a good career.
Okay.
I think he could have went further if he had more opportunity.
Got you.
So we had a solid team.
Who's somebody that you played in the knapsack?
And then, Francisco Garcia, we
Ooh.
played against.
How old was Francisco
Jones.
Garcia then? Because
He's probably 30. He was probably 30.
I feel like he was 32 the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time, right?
His
Full
children and his
beard.
wife came to the game. We're like, their whole team was like that. When we played, there was like all grown men.
Yep.
The point guard was throwing it through his legs in warm-ups.
Uh-huh.
They had a 7'3" dude that didn't even play. That's how good they were. They had like
Yeah.
at least 15 D1 players on the team. So it was like playing against a college team. It was great.
Yeah. So where did the start of basketball sports start from?
The
Where did that
love. Where'd you
start?
get that love at?
My pops played ball. He went to New Mexico. He actually played against Magic Johnson in the state championship in Michigan.
Wow.
He always tells us about that. He said he gave him some work so that Magic know who he is. But yeah, that's where it started, man. That's where it started. Plus my older brother, me and Paul, my older brother Paul grew up together. We grew up competing against each other. So
There you
that's
go.
kind of where the competitiveness came and that's where the love first started.
Was it always basketball? Was there another sport or anything like that?
Nope, always basketball. That was it. I dabbled in other things just for fun, but never anything competitive. Only
I got
basketball.
you.
Gotcha. That's
I did.
dope.
We won the intramural championship at prep school.
Oh, okay.
Intramural. It was
Started out the gate with
started
it, huh?
right. You know what I'm saying? We got the trophies, but at prep you got to play 3 sports.
Okay.
You can't do anything. You have to have some type of extracurricular activity. So you have to do different things. So that's one of the things my sister played tennis. So it was fun to me, but it was nothing real big.
So tennis was the other one that you?
I like tennis.
Okay.
But volleyball. I played volleyball in junior high school. If they had volleyball in high school, I would have played that for sure. But They didn't have it at in high school.
So you can jump then a little bit, or you
I used to. Yeah, I used to. I'm for sure a below the rim player now.
Fully below the rim, huh?
Man, strong layups. That's it.
That's dope. So tell me, in your shoot your shot moment, because this is definitely one of the questions I have for you. How did you guys determine to go to LA?
Well, we just seen in San Bernardino, a lot of guys had a lot of talent, but they weren't really making it out.
Okay.
They were ended up going like maybe JUCO route, and we had a AU coach named Kool-Aid.
bro.
Most people know who Kool-Aid is.
Okay.
Man. He's infamous in that area, but
Kool-Aid.
he had the connections to all the prep schools back east, so everybody on his team was almost going to prep. So.
Oh, I thought you said he had all the snacks. Neil, you talking Kool-Aid?
Right. He probably did too.
Yeah,
he had those too. But Kool-Aid, he's the one that really opened a lot of doors for us. He's the one that got us into prep, got us into the AAU circuit, and got us a chance to go to all the big time camps. So he had major connect. New York dude, so he had all the connections. He was worldwide with it. So
okay.
Yeah, shout out to Kool-Aid.
He got nothing on Weasel, huh?
Yeah, that was my man Weasel.
Weasel, Sam.
They probably cousins.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Weasel. I know Weasel.
So Kool-Aid. So was Kool-Aid the one to tell you about LA, about the Lawrence Academy?
Absolutely.
Okay.
He's the one that presented it to us. He thought it was going to be a great opportunity. Which turned out to be true. We just recently had our 15-year reunion last summer. We went out there. That's where I met my wife.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
at Lawrence Academy.
At Lawrence Academy.
Okay.
So,
dope.
Yeah, for sure. So it definitely happened for a reason.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. But so that's just different to me, right? Because I'm looking at that, and, like I was looking at, because you're from San Bernardino,
right?
And then I'm looking at the stats, doing the homework, and I'm
Right.
like, what the hell is he doing in Boston, in Massachusetts? Like high school in Massachusetts. Like, did I miss something? You know what I'm saying? My reading game or whatever.
Right.
But how did that decision come? Was it a coaching push it? Your parents pushed it? You put
I think it was a collective effort, because because Twan was already there. Twan was there for 2 years. Him and Alvin were already there. We all went to junior high school together. So they kind of recruited us in. I remember they calling us on the payphone. They're like, "Yeah, Rich, man, it's awesome, man. You got to come down here. It's love. They're gonna take care of us." So we kind of pushed. He hyped us up. They sent us the video, of the school, the campus, and everything. So, but it was a huge adjustment, man. It was a super adjustment.
It was like you had to live in the house or what?
Dorms.
Dorms.
Oh, y'all were in dorms.
So before I went there, the furthest east I've been was Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So I thought they took us back in time. So I'm looking at these houses. I'm like, what y'all got me doing here? Like,
is this colonial period?
Yeah. I thought they gonna have us on a plantation or something. I'm like, I didn't come for this. We got out the freeway. We just drove for like 15 minutes. There's just nothing but trees and woods, and then a whole bunch of cows. I'm like, man, I don't know what's going on here.
Right.
But no, it was an adjustment. It made me strengthen myself. Be more mature. So it prepared me for college and overseas at the same time.
Well, I'm glad you didn't see Get Out. That movie wasn't out when you went out there, because you'd have thought your boys was
right.
brainwashed going out.
What y'all got us into, man?
Right.
Not to mention, we were unprepared for that type of level of schooling.
Oh, yeah.
When in high school in California, San Bernardino, we used to get extra credit for typing our papers. So it was a whole nother aspect when we got there. So they had to retrain us on that. So it was a good look though. It was a good
weather
look.
And everything then.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Never seen snow before.
That first winter, boy.
Man, it snowed like 2 feet in March my first year. So it was nuts. It was definitely different.
So CU, University of Colorado.
Right.
How did that coming back? What was the recruiting process like? Why you choose CU?
After my senior year, going into my senior year at ABCD camp, I had a great camp. I was top 10 in scoring. I was an all-star. That's probably one of the best camps ever. They had Dwight. They had at least 9 people to get drafted from that camp.
Yeah.
Dwight Howard, Josh Smith, J.R. Smith, Sebastian, Sean Livingston. It was a packed camp. So I had a great showing, and then we had a tournament in New York right after that, and Coach Ricardo Patton was there. Mm-hmm. He seen me play, and he offered me a scholarship. He was one of the first big colleges to offer me a scholarship right off the bat.
Nice.
But I definitely wanted to, and that's the one that Kool-Aid had a great relationship with, so he kind of, nudged me in that direction.
Right. I got you.
Right.
You know how the AAU thing go.
The scheme.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So there were some things going on, but Ricardo Patton, he was a smooth dude, man.
Yeah.
And he really knew how to get in with the parents.
Okay.
Especially the single parents.
Okay.
So he was like Rico Suave with it.
Give me the recruiting strip. Give me how that went down. Did he come to the crib or did he do it all through the phone?
Nah, he definitely didn't come to San Bernardino. Plus, I was at prep, so he
Okay.
didn't come to prep, but we just, kept in contact. And, I was either I had 5 visits set up. I was going to go to Colorado, Iowa State, Kansas State, Washington,
Okay.
and Richmond. Don't ask me why I was taking Virginia Tech.
Okay.
Virginia Tech. Richmond, I told him I was going to go on a trip, but I just told him just to leave me alone.
Right.
Yeah, there's no way I was going to Richmond. Like, the
Like-
dude was just on it. I'm like, okay, man, damn, all right, leave me alone.
Yeah, don't call me. I'm gonna call
Right.
you.
Right. So I ended up only taking 2 visits. So after I went to Colorado, this was my first visit. Had a great time. Antoine McGee was there. He's actually from the same area, same AAU, so he was there. I was comfortable with him. Then I took my second trip to Iowa State,
Okay.
which was a fun trip. It was cold. It was different in Iowa, but what intrigued me about Iowa was they only had 5 scholarships. So I knew I was going to play 40 minutes no matter. He told me, like, listen, you're going to play. I don't care how bad you are. You're going to play
you
40
gotta
minutes.
play. Yeah.
So that was intriguing, playing in the Big 12. They had
Yeah.
some great guards there as well, too, so I knew I was going to fit in with them. I knew them from back east as well. So
Okay.
both of them went to prep in Massachusetts. But it was I called Colorado after that visit, like, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to go to.
Damn.
He was like, is Kool-Aid where you this right now?
Nigga, hey, Kool-Aid. Nigga,
I'm like,
busting
nah.
through the walls.
Like, nah, I'm playing. I'm going to come here, but I'm going to take 3 more visits. But he was like, okay. Like, but I ended up, I got tired of the recruiting process, man. It was just, I don't know. I regret not going on those visits to this day, but, at that time, there's just a lot of pressure, man. Like, they sit you in a room with 6 coaches, it's just you, and they just like,
Yeah.
Grilling
so
you,
what are you
huh?
going to do?
Right. Where you
Here's
gonna
the
be?
paper. I'm like, I didn't want to sign before I got here. Like, man, they was trying to close the deal. But, yeah, it was fun, though, man. I enjoyed my time at Colorado. It was turmoil
Oh, really?
during that time, man. It was a soap opera.
Going into Colorado?
Not going in, but
While you
during,
was there.
while
Just
I was
during
there.
Okay.
While I was there, definitely
Yeah,
got
that
turmoil.
weekend.
Yeah, definitely,
Boulder is interesting. It's an interesting city.
for sure.
Yeah.
It
So
was- go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
Well,
Nah,
he's from Colorado, so he definitely shares he spent some time there as well.
Yeah. No, Boulder was good. It was going through a lot of transition at the time, especially with the football program because of the
Yeah.
coaching situation.
Okay.
The basketball program was underfunded, and it was Ricardo was trying to get a new contract, and it was just like it was a soap
Okay.
opera. And the new AD came in, didn't
Oh.
like.
Yeah.
So it was a strange dynamic
Just
going
that
on.
tension. You could feel the
Oh, my
underlying shit,
goodness.
right?
And then like my sophomore year when I was really high in the draft boards,
Okay.
Yeah.
and it was Coach Patton's year that he was going to get a contract. So he was just started killing me all of a sudden, like yo, what happened? Like I was Big 12 all freshman, like
Yeah.
what I mean?
I'm coming out doing some things
Yeah,
here.
and he was like, even before the game, sometimes he would be like, Roby's not prepared for the game. All he's thinking about is the NBA. He's meeting up with agents to go to the game. I'm like,
Damn, coach.
should we talk about the scouting report? We about to have a game right now. Like, when we started doing all of that, man, it got real hectic. So I knew I was out at that point.
Dang.
I probably should have stayed out, but he came on back, man. I wasn't all the way in because at the end of the season, our team fell apart.
Yeah.
So
And
my-
this is the end of your
Sophomore
sophomore
year.
Yep.
so we fell apart. We were top 25 for a while, and then at the end of the season, when that was going on, the head coach and assistant coach started, having turmoil, and then like players, we had like 9 seniors that all wanted to go pro.
pro.
You know what I mean? So it's just like it ended
Chris
up being a mess.
Copeland.
So at the end of the season, I was just like, man, I'm out. I'm into the draft. And my draft range was between like 25 and 35. That's kind of like the range they gave me, but I definitely wanted to go first round.
Yeah.
If I was going to leave early, I definitely wanted to go first round. But then that even got messy into the summer. I mean, we can go into that if you want to. But
Yeah, that's
let's
what we're
do
here for.
Yeah.
Shit.
so that summer, I didn't want to sign with an agent.
Okay.
So what they do, they call him an advisor.
Advisor.
So I was getting courted by different people flying, and like my mom, she was just like, trying to get me to sign with certain agents. Kool-Aid wanted me to sign. I didn't want to disappoint neither one of them.
You can't mess with Kool-Aid.
Yeah, so I ended up going with my own guy, which is worse than both of them. So it was, man, 'cause a dude named Dan Fagan,
Oh shit.
he was a big time agent.
Yeah.
He was my brother's agent.
Okay.
So we went to Beverly Hills. He see like this and sat me down. We eating dinner with Master P. I'm like, man, I can't go wrong.
Right.
But I didn't know he was trying to get out of the game at that time. So we had another guy named Mitchell Butler.
He was grooming.
He was grooming. So I was his like
Pass
protege.
off.
Yeah.
Right.
So so basically, me and Mitch is cool now, but at the time he probably should have told me, you know what I mean?
What the deal
Yeah, what the
was.
deal was. He was like training me. He was I didn't know who he was. I'm like, man, what are you doing for me? So
the barber, you know what I'm saying? Financial.
yeah, I'm like, so what is like, what am I going on? Am I going to the pre-draft camp? He's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. He had me working out for teams that really wasn't in my draft range.
Right.
So I kind of got uncomfortable with the process, and I kind of like was leaning towards going back. You know, but I think I'm pretty positive the Knicks would have drafted me with one of their early picks. I had some guaranteed picks with Houston and Minnesota in the second. They said they would have took me. But I didn't want to go second round. And then Ricardo Patton came back.
For your junior season?
Nah, he flew to California to meet me and my mom. He's like, yeah, you know,
and he started talking that Rico
Suave.
Oh man, he started doing, you know,
hey, pop your collar shit.
We going to legal seafood. He's like, yeah, Rich, you know, like I don't like how things ended. You know, he started sweet talking me again, like, you know, we have 9 freshmen. He's like, it's the best freshman class I ever recruited. You know, you're gonna be the leader of this team. My whole thing is that when you get here, my thing is to make you a guaranteed first round pick. That's it. You said like that's my you know, that's what I'm telling you right now. That's my whole. I'm like, okay. I'm like, man, I could come back. I know I can kill. I already killed before, so I can solidify myself. So when I ended ended up you know, withdrawing from the draft, going back to school. So I got there. I'm playing with these dudes now.
Yeah.
Damn.
And like 4 of those dudes should have never got a scholarship to play basketball.
I know.
We had 2 6'11" people that couldn't even dunk. We had one guard that couldn't hit every third shot was an air ball.
Oh.
He was a bad player. So I'm like, man, what I do?
And he sold you all the dreams.
Oh my God. Then when we got there, before the first actual practice, he sat down the whole team and told us, he's like, listen, I'm not coming back next year.
Wow.
No matter if they offer me a job next year or not, I'm not coming back. And these are 9 freshmen that are brand new. Like, damn, like I came to play for you, and it's just like
he hit him with the last dance.
Yeah, exactly. He did. So like he was playing like I don't know what he was doing, but I guess he had already something set up. So it was just like a throwaway season. We ended up being terrible, winning like 7 games. And I fell off all the way to draft board. I had to rebuild myself back up my senior year. So that's when we had Jeff Bizdelic come in.
Oh yeah, that is right. He did. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff coached us. You know, he coached my brother with the Nuggets right before that. So I was familiar with him. At least he brought in a system.
Right.
You know, we ran to Princeton, which is not easy to pick up in 1 year. You know, even though we picked it up, we got better as time goes on. We got better throughout the season. So ended up having a better season. You know, got back on the draft board. Wasn't quite high, but I was high enough that I had a shot to get drafted. You know, within probably between 30 and 60 was probably my draft range.
Okay.
And, you know, I was playing really well at the pre-draft camp that summer.
Okay.
You know, I ran into Larry Bird in the elevator. He was like, man, Rich, you playing good, man. Continue what you're doing. I'm like, oh, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm
you geeked now.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I knew I liked Larry the Legend, man. So I think that same game, and it's funny because I'm watching the Bulls Last Dance, and Randy Brown was my coach at the pre-draft.
Nice.
So the third day, I'm probably top 5 in the camp in scoring at the time. So the third day, I broke my hand.
Oh.
Yeah, I came off a pick and roll.
You landed.
Scott Padgett, he was with Louisville. I don't know if you remember him.
Yep.
He hedged the pick and roll, so I just put my hand down. I think my finger may have got caught in his jersey.
Yeah.
So I couldn't feel my hand. I'm telling Randy Brown, I'm like, Coach, take me out. I can't feel me. He's like, no, you playing good. Keep going.
Keep going, boy.
I'm like, I'm dribbling the ball. I'm like, Coach, you got to take me out. So he took me out finally. I went to the trainer. He looked at my hand 1 second, like, it's broken.
Damn.
And the next day, my hand looked like
Swole.
the clumps. Yeah, I had like 20-something workouts set up, too. You know what I mean, at that time. So, you know, ended up signing overseas, and that was pretty much where we've been at.
Yeah, so leading score. So you damn learned leading score everywhere.
Yeah. All-time leading at
high school.
Yeah.
Before high school.
Right.
Overseas.
Right.
Intramurals.
Right.
You start off intramurals.
40 love.
Oh shit. Hey, just go for it though.
Right.
What was it like a play that ran for you? You just like to crash the boards? Did you do the score just to clear out?
I mean, I wasn't really like, I was just able to score in many different ways. I was versatile how I can score.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? I could score in any type of system, you know, and that's kind of, you know, scoring just came easy to me. You know what I mean? And I wasn't the type of scorer that was always just looking for a bucket every time I touched the ball.
You just took it when it came to you.
You know, I let the game come to me.
That's
of course,
dope.
sometimes you got takeover mode, but, you know, a lot of coaches was like wanted me to shoot more. Like, you got to be more aggressive. That was like, nobody ever told me, like, stop.
Yeah.
I never had a coach be like, you're doing too much. So that was kind of like the thing, but it just came easy to me. I'm the type of guy that wants everybody to do well. I want everybody to eat. And I want everybody to be happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I didn't really have that like scoring thing where I'm just going to be a killer trying to score every single time. That wasn't necessarily my game.
So did you, because, I mean, I'm sure when you was breaking all the records, you was leading scorer all 4 years in college. I'm sure you heard Chauncey Billups' names once or twice because you probably was like the first freshman since Chauncey Billups to do this. Because I know Chauncey Billups was everything at CU. So did you have any pressure with that, or it was just like?
Nah, Chauncey was a good dude, man. I love Chauncey. He's like a mentor type of person. He's like that with everybody. You know what I mean? He has that reputation. I remember the summer when I first got to CU, we played in the pro-am in Denver. It was like his pro-am.
Okay.
And he never showed up until the championship. Yeah. So our team made it to the championship. He showed up, and it's his pro-am, man. It was funny. Dude was just like hella strong. Like, that's the first thing. I remember I tried to cut, and he like grabbed me, and I was just like running in place, and I didn't move.
Got that man strength.
I'm like, it's a different kind of strength. But Chauncey was funny. Like, I remember one time the ref called a call on him, and he didn't like it, so he took the ball and walked like hella slow all the way to the other side of the court and put the ball down and dared the ref to give him a tech because he knew he was gonna fire the ref if he teched him up.
Wow!
So
I bet you.
All right.
The ref just looked at him and was like,
my
hey.
house.
He's like, he's right. I can't give him a tech, so we just took it back out. I'm like, yeah, that's a good look. But
my ball, punk.
Yeah. Now I ended up breaking Chauncey's freshman scoring record freshman year, but Alex Burke broke my record shortly after that. You know what I mean? So shout out to Alex Burke, still in the league doing this thing. So
you played with Chris Copeland too. Was that freshman, sophomore year?
Yep, freshman, sophomore year. I played with Cope. Still cool. We played TBT this summer together.
Yeah.
So Cope, my guy, man. Cope, my guy. He's out in LA.
So I read an article, and your brother's Kenyon Martin.
Right.
So I read an article that you guys kind of really improved your relationship while you was in college. Talk to me about that.
Okay, so I always knew I had a brother. I had a lot of brothers and sisters out there. You know? And my dad, when we were young, he came with a picture of Kenyon in his high school uniform. He's like, man, it's your brother. He's going to go to the NBA one day. Watch. And me and my other brother, Paul, was like, nah, hell no. We're going to the NBA. I don't know about this dude. Lo and behold, he was right. But, I met Kenyon. It's funny. I met him in L.A. during the AAU tournament. My sister ran into a guy who was working for his agency, and he's like, yeah, I know Kenyon. He's like, I'm going to invite him to the game. So I remember, I never forget it. So I knew he was coming to the game. So I'm like, I never met him before. He just got drafted #1 that year. So I'm like walking to the parking lot to grab something. And I see him walking this way. So I'm like, damn, is he even gonna know who I am? Like, I'm about to start turning around. So I just walked by and he just gave me. He gave me a hug.
He knew.
Yeah, he knew. So I guess because we kind of look alike, I don't know. Yeah, he's like, it got to be him. So, and that's kind of how we kind of started the relationship. And then when he was on New Jersey, when I was at prep, I went to a couple of games when he played Boston.
Okay, dope.
But then when I was already signed to Colorado. Then I heard he came to Denver, and that's kind of like, we really built the relationship because he's only up the street. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we got a chance to build. Right now I'm kicking this behind the dominoes on the phone right now. I know he's mad.
So y'all real competitive?
We're not competitive. Like, we never played basketball against each other one time.
Oh, never?
But I know Kenyon's competitive for sure. Like, I know, no matter what he does, he wants to win.
He's got that dog in him too.
Yeah, he's a dog. And he's a mad loser. I know he's mad. You know what I mean? When he loses, type of person. Like, he don't take it well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he hates to lose. But that's why I learned a lot from him, man. He just had a presence to him that it was no nonsense. Even though he was a good dude, he had a no nonsense presence. So I always admired that about him.
Right.
You know what I mean? When we had a relationship, so he helped me grow in that area.
That's dope.
Something I wish I had more of when I was playing. You know what I mean? Some more of that, fierceness that he had. So I think that would have took me to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, when I'm on that court, there's just nothing I can't do. So if I had that as well, it would have been super over.
Yeah, that get out the way.
Get out the way, right.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on him. So let's kind of move forward to present day, but just talking about some more of your just overseas stuff and career and things you're doing. So you come out 2008.
Yep.
And, you go through this situation where you're supposed to get drafted and you have a couple tryouts. What was that kind of process like, and what determination did you have to, accept the steps that you were going to have to take?
It was difficult, man. It was super difficult. When I got drafted, I told myself I'm never working out again. I'm like, I'm just going to play and get paid. Like, I don't care about working out. Like, I didn't make it to the league. Like, I didn't care anymore. But then I learned, dudes overseas are good too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I went over there with not a great attitude in the beginning.
Chip on the shoulder type.
Yeah, and I had a great contract first year. So I remember in summer league, dude named Eric Hicks. He was on Cincinnati. He was like, Rich, you're not going to the NBA, bro. You got to go. Like, get used to going overseas. You're gonna make good money. He brought it to me
told you
real.
it was real.
So I didn't want to accept it. And I finally did accept it. So I signed overseas. When I first got my first 2 years, I played in Israel.
Okay.
Which is a great country to play. But coming from college, you get used to a certain type of lifestyle. You get used to your atmosphere, everything kind of being brought to you. So when you get over there, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Your locker room probably gonna look something like this.
Yeah.
When you get used to having big time locker rooms. So that was like a big shock to me. And I remember when I first got there, I called my agent like, give me my flight home.
Where Kool-Aid at,
Where
bro?
Kool-Aid? Like, listen, Kool-Aid.
Is Kool-Aid where I'm living like this?
Right. Kool-Aid would not be happy.
Right.
Kool-Aid is definitely a third person kind of guy, right?
Yeah. So, but that first year was tough. So it was an adjustment. The second year, I really wanted to try to get back. So I played summer league. Didn't really get a great opportunity. Didn't get a lot of playing time.
Who'd you play with that year?
That year I played with Oklahoma City.
Oh, okay. This is OKC year you played.
Because OKC was supposed to draft me. They called me.
Originally?
Yeah, my senior year when I was hurt, they was going to draft me. They called me. They had like 4 second-round picks.
Okay.
So my agent called me. He's like, they're going to take you in one of your second-round picks. They're going to ship you overseas, though. But they want to have your rights to be
the rights, which is like, okay.
So, it would have been cool to get drafted, but at the end of the day, I probably would have went overseas anyway. Ended up trading it, so that was whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I played my first year in Israel. We had a decent season. They wanted to bring me back, but I kind of wanted to see what else was out there. Ended up coming back to Israel that next year, and that's kind of how, I did my Roar tour.
So,
you
in Japan now. I was born in Japan.
What part?
Tokyo.
Okay.
So,
Konnichiwa.
I don't know anything.
Konnichiwa.
So tell me about Japan, man. For the people, tell me about Japan.
Japan's like my second home. I was there 5 years. My family, like my daughters, were there a lot of the time. Yeah, they were there with me like probably 4 to 5 years. They were there with me, so they know Japan almost as well as they know the States. Yeah,
really.
Yeah, especially my middle daughter Zara, like they loved her out there. Like, she used to be signing autographs. I mean, like everywhere we went, she was like stopping the show because they never seen anybody look like her. She's like super light, blonde hair, curly, like so. They were like, you were at Disneyland sometimes, like, oh, can I take a picture with your daughter? I love Japan.
Just don't touch her hair, damn it.
Yeah, right. So Japan was like my second home. It was a great situation. It kind of like.
So is the ball and everything like different there and more of excitement, like just different experience in Israel?
For sure, because they depend a lot more on the Americans there. In Israel, sometimes the guys overseas in Europe and other places, they want to kind of compete with you.
Right.
They're like, I want to show you I can do this too. But over there, they know you're the guy, and they know they're supposed to give you the ball. They know you're supposed to do everything. So they're not going to fight with you. So and I like that. In my first couple of years, it was good because we had like 4 Americans on the team and 3 could play. And we were all unselfish guys, and we all played together. Ruben Boykin, he's from L.A. He played. He was on the team. Another dude named Chase. He went to Wake Forest. Another dude named Sean Stevens. He went to San Diego State. We were on the same team. It was fun. It just brought the love back for me of the game. Yeah,
that's dope.
So I got a chance to really be myself. The coach let me be myself, and I was really able to excel out there.
Okay. What's the biggest difference, kind of, I don't know, international play versus kind of here in the States?
I think it depends on where you're at. When you're in Europe, they want everybody to average like 10 points. If you average 20 points, they don't like that at all. They don't want anybody's going out there getting a whole bunch of buckets. They want it to be like a
super
real
team ball, right?
Team ball. Like, if you're a wing, it's just boring. I hate it playing in Europe. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hate it. Unless you're like a point guard or like a center, it's really hard from the wing position to really have fun because a lot of times it's just, at least earlier, maybe the game has changed over there since I played in Europe.
And real slow over there too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Everything's slowed down, real methodical. Coach wants you to do exactly what you tell him to do. They're making you do 2 a day, practices a day. None of that in Japan. So I couldn't go nowhere else. I got spoiled.
How about Mexico? How was that? Mexicali?
I played in Mexicali. Was the games in South America and Latin America in general was just popping. Like, it's like a park, man. It's
really?
It's fierce, man. It's a war. It's a war zone. Like, you don't know if you're gonna make it out sometimes.
That's what Sam said.
Man. Especially when I was in Venezuela. Oh my God, like that was a whole nother experience, man. I'm talking about. So we couldn't even go to practice. Especially the second time I went.
Okay.
We couldn't even go to practice sometimes because they're protesting. Like, they shut down the streets. If you try to drive by that street, they throwing rocks, everything, bricks, until they're ready to let people go through.
Until they're ready. Y'all can't go nowhere.
But the good thing about Venezuela was this, like, you can live off of $20 for like a month. Like you
What?
change over $300, they'll give you a double. You feel like Mayweather over there, man. They give you a double. But everything's everything's expensive. You go to Burger King, it's like $45,000 for a Whopper. So you got to sit out there account $45,000 out there. I'm like, man,
That's crazy. See, balling out there.
man. Oh my God, it was love. I'm talking about me steaks. I'm buying everybody. Hey,
Hey, I got this. Right,
Hey,
this on
what you
me.
need?
Right, this on me.
chicken 8 cents.
Yeah, come on.
Run that. I got
Yeah,
that.
come on through, man.
Yeah,
But it
we
was
got
cool
that.
though because there's a lot of poverty there. So sometimes you'll see like a lot of children out there like helping people park just to get it. So I'll go out there, buy them food and do a whole bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So I was real, giving out there.
Dope.
So it was fun. I like Venezuela is a great country. Even though they're going through a lot right now, the
Mhm.
people there are super nice, man. And one day I think they're gonna be, where they're supposed to be as a people. You know what I mean? So I love Venezuela. That's one of the funnest places I got a chance to play.
Okay.
So where's the
Mexico.
worst?
The worst experience I had was in Greece.
Really?
Yeah, Greece, because that's when the economy was really bad out there. So when we got there, I already kind of knew horror stories.
Mm-hmm.
So when we got out there, there was always, everything was tomorrow. Like, oh, yeah, Thursday, Friday, you get paid. Maybe
Paid,
Thursday.
yeah.
They gave me 2 days. I knew I wasn't getting paid.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, oh, no, we ain't getting
No,
paid.
we ain't getting this money.
So it got to the point where the actual coach was paying me out of his pocket. But I was playing so well out there. Like, I was killing. Like, I was going to go high Euro League if I would have stayed.
Okay.
For sure. But the money I got hurt. The money started running out, and the players started kind of getting mad at me because they found out the coach was kind of
Coach
paying
paying
me a
you.
little bit
Like,
under
he
the
get
table.
paid.
And they were trying to force me to play hurt. And then they came one day. We had cars and stuff. And they came and repossessed the cars before practice. And I had to walk
Damn.
to rehab. There was nobody. The landlord was coming listen, we got to kick y'all out. They ain't paid us in months. Then the garbage people went on strike, so garbage was piling in the
up.
streets.
Oh.
So it was
That's a lot.
mess. It was a mess. So I sent my wife and my children home first, and then I just in the middle of the night I bought a ticket and I didn't tell them, I just left.
Just left.
Yeah, they were trying to hold my rights for a little while too. I'm like, how you gonna hold my rights knowing y'all owe me money?
Right.
Yeah.
All this, y'all really want to see my family do bad because y'all don't know what y'all doing, but they ended up letting it go, and I ended up finishing that season in France that year, which was cool.
Okay.
That's dope. So you always had your family over there while you were playing?
Sometimes, my
When it made sense and it was safe.
when it was safe,
It
when
was
it was
safe,
safe, and
yeah.
I knew how it was gonna look. You know
Okay.
what I mean? So that they got a chance. My daughter's been in so many countries, they don't even remember. I got to show them their passports when they get older.
That's dope. And that's a great experience, though.
Yeah.
Because, there's so many things that they're going to learn that they don't understand that they picked up.
Right,
But just coming from a lot of us growing up, there's some things that I didn't do until I was,
right.
an adult.
Yeah, for
Sure.
Couple quick questions. One, how did you get to Las Vegas, and when did you get to Las Vegas?
So when I was in the D League, or now G League,
Mhm.
we were just looking for a spot, and I didn't want to be in California
Okay.
because this for prices. In the D League, don't make no money, so I had to make sure I do something. And my
Economical,
wife,
right?
Yeah, my wife had a friend who had a big, nice house, and she was letting us rent it for dirt cheap.
Oh, shit, okay.
I'm talking about, man, that house, man. I wish I was there right now. But so that's kind of how we ended up here. I was familiar with Vegas, because
Gotcha.
it's
What
right
year-
up the street. That was
And what year?
2012 or 13.
Okay. So, yeah, and plus you've been to Summer League a couple years, too.
Right.
You're kind of familiar with it?
Yeah, it's 3 hours away. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much almost California. So if I wanted to go home, I can go home, and I'm far enough away where I don't have to deal with traffic and all that other stuff that goes along with living in California.
Got you. And then it's funny because your sister always knew you. I saw that picture that she had at Vegas that you put on there.
Right.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, she already knew.
She already knew.
It was
Put
already
the
written,
destiny out there.
for sure.
All right. So kind of not controversial. Just want to get your thoughts on it. As well, we did a show on this talking about bubble cities, right? Have you heard that in the news? The NFL. So the NBA. I did that all during the show too.
Mhm.
Anyway, the NBA talking about coming back and playing the finishing the season,
Mhm.
and then for them to do that, they want to have these bubble cities. All right, and Vegas is one of the bubble cities. It's probably the top tier of the bubble cities, but Orlando's another one that wants to do the bubble city, and basically they would bring the whole league into one area that has enough hotels, enough courts, and enough kind of infrastructure
Right.
for them to finish the season.
Right.
Would you play if you were an NBAer? And what's your thoughts about that?
Well, yeah, I think I would, man. Just because Have you heard about the NBA players maybe having to give up their checks because of what's going on right now?
Yep.
Yes.
Because for financial reasons, that could be, that may be a reason why. It depends on having fans, but I think they'll play. I don't think this is gonna go away.
Oh, really?
I don't think this is something we have to adjust to.
Oh, yeah.
It was funny because I met a dude like before it even really got big. He was like, man, he said 40% of the world is gonna get this virus at some point. I was like, for real? And now, what it looks like it. I mean, we probably could have already had it. You never not know. We just don't know. Just the nature of the disease is just like that. But, hopefully they come up with different, vaccines and something that's safe that we can actually trust that's going to make us, But I think the number one thing is just making sure we're healthy, man. Strengthening our immune system. That's the best way to be able to fight off any diseases, preventive measures before it even, so your body's made to be able to
withstand
everything. So it's like we got to make sure we strengthen our body what it needs to be able to withstand. And I think we do that, But I think they're going to finish out the season. It would just be, it's going to be weird.
It's definitely going to be different.
It's going to feel like a big AAU tournament. That's what it's going to look like.
He called it. That's exactly what he called it.
Right. So that'd be crazy though. Just have a bracket and they just play.
Yeah,
it's
going to be interesting.
Right.
Another topic that we kind of talk about a lot is NCAA. Obviously using the NCAA, and as a guy that was leading your team in scoring
and the G League,
Well, I mean the first 2 years, was there obviously there was a thought to come out, but what do you think about the process of guys going overseas now and playing, the possibility of the G League, possibly a college? How do you feel about that?
I'm super conflicted about it because I understand why people feel the way they feel about college basketball and how it's just a billion-dollar industry and the players really don't get what they deserve. They're really the ones that are kind of building the infrastructure of the school.
Right.
You do get an education, but a lot of times we don't even know what to do with the education anyway. And we really can't even I really can't even tell you anything I learned in college. It's just like you don't have any time to really even think like that. You know what I mean?
Or apply it, right?
Apply it, It's especially, you have literally no social life. It's just like basketball, and you like go to try to stay awake in class and pass through the class. I mean, some people can do it and thrive in it, but it's a super challenge. But you can't. The college experience is something to be felt. You're not gonna feel that when you're playing in those arenas and going against that crowd, and it's something you don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
And overseas is like you're not gonna get that. It's gonna be a grind. You're playing against people that are, especially if you're young, you're playing against grown men. This is how they feed their family.
Right.
They understand how it works. They're already adjusted to it. It's a hard adjustment.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely conflicted. But the G League, is up and coming. You know what I mean? They're paying guys a lot better now than when I was there. They're really trying to make it a thing. But you're going to be playing in front of 1,000, 2,000 people most of the time.
Yeah, you're not going to go to KU. You're going to have
Yeah, they're not going to rock chalk Jayhawk at all.
Yeah.
So that's an experience that you're here.
Sure,
you're here on life to have those type of experiences, and then you can't. You can't really put a price tag on that.
Right.
But I guess you can.
Yes, you can.
You can. But
they're putting them on it.
Yeah, right. But I think the colleges are trying to adjust quickly.
Very quickly.
Because they see what's happening.
They was like, hey, can we get Kool-Aid on the phone?
Because
we need to figure this out.
My nephew did that.
Oh, really?
Where's he go?
Where'd he go?
Kenya Martin Jr.
Oh, yeah.
So he went to prep. He went to prep with the IMG Academy.
Yes.
Now he just entered the draft this year.
Yeah.
So he was like, he was either going to go overseas or do a prep year. And now he's in the draft. And if he doesn't go to the draft, maybe go overseas and come back or go G League.
Right.
But he just said, like, my dream wasn't to play in college. My dream was to play in the NBA. So, I mean, it is a conversation to be had for sure. And the college is going to have to adjust and kind of do right by the players. Like, there's no way, you know what I'm saying? They can do something. At least let the players make money off of their own name and go out there and sign autographs and make money.
I know there's a lot of 23 jerseys people was wearing back in the day.
Yeah,
bro.
I need to get compensated for that, man. Like, come on, y'all know what y'all did.
So you need them retros, right?
Yeah. And, I think they're waiting for me to graduate, so before they get my money back. I got a couple classes to take.
Yeah.
There you go. Go back and get that, right?
Right. It's going to happen one day.
There you go. So you played in it's the TBT League. I forget what the acronym was.
The summer tournament.
Yeah. How was that?
Yeah.
Man, it's fun, man.
Okay.
It's just good to get everybody back on the same page. It's like you can't really
Is it because of who you play with? It's fun, like because you went back with the Colorado team,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay.
That's the main reason why it's fun.
All right.
Of course, you get out, you get a chance to compete in the States. Your family and friends get the chance to watch you again.
Right.
Now I got a chance to watch you since overseas, and you get a chance to play against a lot of the guys who are overseas. It's a great thing that they're doing, you know, and it's been growing. And I like the Elam ending rules that they have.
Yeah.
So that's going to be something that's going to be, you know, interesting. They did it in the All-Star game this year. So that thing is crazy, man. It happened I remember the first game last year with the Elam ending. We told the game before we watched it happen to a team where they just were. They needed 3 points to win. That's all they were doing, and the team came back.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ended up winning or losing, but they came all the way back. We told ourselves we're not going to do that. And guess what we did?
The
same exact thing.
Same thing.
15. We needed 2 points to win, and they came all the way back. We throwing up. It was just ugly. We ended up winning. And the next game, we did it to the other team. We should have won that game, but that team that beat us ended up going to the championship. But it was a good experience. And the third year, we went to the championship.
Yeah, you went to the championship.
I was hurt. I got hurt. I got hurt. I played in the first 2 games.
Okay.
Then I got hurt. I was playing in they had a camp to go to Korea for overseas. You had to go to the camp to get drafted. So I went there, and a big 7-foot dude fell on my knee, and I tore my meniscus. My MCL. So we ended up going to the championship. I was there watching, waiting to collect my check if we won.
Right.
But that was one of the most hurtful experiences I ever felt in the locker room.
Oh, because you were so close.
We were up 20 in the first half.
Oh, that's $2 million.
$2 million. They write you a check right in the back. So I'm already me and my wife was already talking about we're gonna put a down payment on a condo in Miami. This is gonna be our summer spot. We're gonna get out of Vegas in the summertime to get on the beach. We was already talking about it. So and I was already envisioning. I'm like, man, this is really happening right now.
I see it. It's so close.
But then Marcus Hall at the time, our point guard, he was really the only not the only threat, but he's the one. He was killing the whole tournament.
Yeah.
So we got in foul trouble. That's when they made their comeback. But we still was winning, and this ref, I know he messed up the whole game for us. He blew a call that lost us the whole $2 million.
If you see him, it's problems on site.
Marcus Hall got it. No, Dominique Coleman got a steal, passed it up to Marcus Hall, had a layup. The ball hit the backboard first, and the dude blocked it. Goaltending. It's game over. It's free throws, and we win the free throw contest. Didn't call it. They came back and hit a 3. Now it's tied up, and now it's now it's a barn biter to the end. They had way more offensive weapons than us. They had a great team. They had 5. They got 4 or 5 dudes that can get 50, known for getting buckets.
Damn.
So we were underachieving. I know if I would have played in that game, I know for sure we would have won. We would have won. He needed somebody else out there with him just another spark, right? If I would have got there and got 12, it's over. I could do that right now.
Yeah, we know you, Mr. Get Buckets. We know you can get 12.
I could do that easily.
We know you got 12 in your bag, brother. We know that.
For sure. 12 is over. Win the game. $2 million.
$2 million. Done.
That messed up my whole next year, though.
You still thinking about that money, right?
When I went back to play over, when I went back to Japan, and I was still messed up. I was still hurt from that, man.
Yeah. You damn near counting that shit,
wasn't you? Because I went to the championship so many times overseas, and I never won.
Oh,
so that was what is it about me that I'm not?
That shit just kind of.
Because I lost 2 years in a row. My first 2 years in Japan, we went to the championship and lost.
Okay.
I missed a game winner the second year. Then we did that. Then in the D League, we went to the championship and lost.
Dang. Okay.
Then I think it was one more in Mexico and Venezuela, we went to the championship and lost.
These silver medals, man.
I'm right. You need to get to the chip. I'm the person you need to get on your team. And last year,
but when we get there, you need to tap me out, though, coach.
Right. We won it last year, though. That was my first chip.
Okay.
We won it last year, so that was a little monkey off my back. But
actually,
we won in Mexico too. But I got there in the playoffs.
So you don't really fully attribute that one?
Yeah, I helped, but I wasn't I was there. You know what I mean? I was
participation award.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like I won. So I won 1.5.
There it is.
You're in the Hall of Fame at Lawrence Academy, right?
Yep. They inducted me at our 15-year reunion. So.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Did you know it? Is that why you came, or was that something that you knew they were going to do?
No, I knew earlier in the year the AD sent me an email listen, Rich, we're going to induct you to the Hall of Fame, so make sure you're here for the 15-year reunion. So I'm cool. So I was already going to go anyway.
Right.
I just like to go see the people, network, talk, see all the teachers that are still there and see how everybody's doing. I had great memories there. So, it was fun. I got a chance to see our coach. He was like, yeah, Rich, you ever want to coach, man? You have the job. he's like the AD now, so he's over there trying to court me to be the coach over there now. I'm like,
How are they? Because like I looked at some records and I don't know if they're getting the caliber of talent.
yeah, I mean, what happened was they got too good.
Oh,
They got too good. You know, there's different levels at prep school. There's a Class A, Class B, and Class C. Class A is like all post grads.
okay.
Top
That's
tier.
where you got. That's where
No, we were Class C.
you Class C. Okay.
So Class C is supposed to be like normal, like there's no
Yeah.
post grads, it's normal comp. But we were like bringing people in, beating everybody by 50, like we're a Class B or Class A
Hey,
school.
Yeah.
Also, they force y'all to go up.
Now they didn't force us to go up,
Oh.
but we were beating everybody. So what happened was, even the football was recruiting well, and they ended
Yeah.
up like beating teams like nobody could even score. So one football team didn't even show up for the game, and that caused like a big mayhem.
Hold on. Y'all scared people from not even showing up.
Not
boy.
even showing up.
And we'll just send our scoring.
Right,
Here's
like-
10
So-
points. We're not.
So
gonna
they
do
had to
that.
die down a little bit on the recruiting. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So they had to go under wraps for a little while.
Oh,
'cause
so
all
they
the-
tanked for real, like on
yeah,
purpose.
For sure. So they,
Ah.
but, you know, he got-
That whole prep scheme kind of changed a little bit. So my brother's Notre Dame prep is where he was at. That's where he was at.
Shots fired.
they
Mike
call
Beasley.
it a prep school, but the school was
The house.
35 people.
Yeah.
The prep house.
No, it is.
It's
like
a house.
10 people in that mother.
Yeah, there's no school. They just play basketball
Yeah,
and they
hoop.
give you, you know what I mean? But that's kind of how prep school got a bad rap because
Yeah.
like they're not going to school.
Yeah.
There's 23-year-old. I mean, all kind of stuff going on there. But
Yeah, I looked at the video because now they have it electronically. You don't have to watch VHS or DVD, however they send it to you.
right. Yeah.
But that's experience, man. I was really.
right.
I mean, they got people like snorkeling and talking about different shit going on. And then I looked at the team, I looked at the picture of the current basketball team, and I see two brothers on the team. Then I see one dude in a team photo with a hoodie on, like underneath his jersey. I'm like, man, they ain't playing no ball, right?
No, they ain't what we used to be. We ain't used to be, but they it was crazy, man, because like I didn't know I was really poor until I got to prep school. I knew I had a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Touch on that.
I mean, we was on welfare, not that type of stuff. We had like the share rooms, but that was just everybody was doing it, so I didn't
Right.
know.
There's a difference when you got there. You noticed it.
Yeah. Like when the dude's dorm next to me, and I knew his grandfather owned the Atlanta Braves. I knew I was like, it's a different type of money they got over here than what we had.
When I say he's got his own money, the boy's got his own money.
So I was like, man, I got a chance to experience that.
That's
man. Like,
crazy.
it costs $50,000 a year to go there, and I got a chance to go for free.
And the prices went up. It's 65 now.
Is it?
Yes.
Inflation,
No,
Yeah.
not the inflation. You, brother. It's extra cost. Like, oh, this is what you can do, right?
No wonder they sending me all kind of
They want you to-
emails trying to give me donations.
Donations, yeah. Donation.
I'm gonna get y'all when I get y'all, man.
It's a trash can.
Yeah, I'm gonna get y'all when I get y'all.
That's what you got to tell her. I thought it was a trash can.
I'm gonna pay it forward one day. I promise y'all, man. But it might not be today, but it's gonna be one day.
Oh, shit. I'm glad that you got hit him like your former teams, man. I'm going to get you Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Friday.
You know about 2030, 2031, one of them years. Man, man.
One of years, I'm going to get you.
For sure.
That's a great experience, man.
Absolutely.
No, I just lost my train of thought where I was going to go with it. Here locally, do you go to any of the Aces games? Do you support or you check that out? And since you have daughters, do you ever bring them or how's that?
I wanted to. I never got a chance to take him to an S's game. It's funny. Sequoia, who y'all had on the show,
Shout out to
she
Sequoia.
invited me to come practice with them.
Oh,
So they had a
okay.
couple guys come practice. I'm like, cool. I get a chance.
oh, that'd be dope.
Oh, it was a bad experience, bro. Bill Lambier. Okay, Bill Lambier had me like getting my ass whooped the whole and these women are way more physical.
Physical.
So it's like, and you can't like complain
Yeah.
about it.
No, you can't say
So
it.
they posting me up, beating me up, my back hurting. I'm like, yeah, Sequoia, I'm not coming back again.
Right,
man.
they went and-
unless they actually pay me to get beat up. I'm not getting beat up for free for sure. Not in my 30s. So that was
Cam Bays was
yeah, nah,
Cam
but
Bays is getting them elbows.
oh my goodness, it was tough, man. It was tough. I'm like, thanks for the opportunity to be able to come, experience that, but y'all ain't gonna see me no more.
Talk about being a girl dad, man. I'm a recent girl dad now.
Okay,
Is it all TikTok videos that I got to look forward to? But what's it like?
man,
Tea parties.
it's as a dad, it's way different when you first have a daughter because it's like it changes your whole world, how you see everything that you ever done and thought about, in general. So it changed, and it's easier because you don't have to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I don't have to like discipline. Like my wife kind of is the one that disciplines them. You know what I mean? So I'm just a good guy in the house. So if things get super out of hand, then I start raising my voice a little bit. Hey, what y'all doing? And then they kind of get together. But I love being a girl dad. So being a chance to be able to see them grow. They're all so different. I got 4 daughters, and they're all so different. They all have their things that they just do so great, and they all, what I mean? It's just definitely a blessing.
Nice.
I mean, of course, one day.
Yeah, want that son?
Yeah, but not no time soon. I don't want to think about a child in my house. It's just like I wake up having nightmares thinking about that. You know what I mean?
Wake up like,
I don't even know how I got here.
Right.
So this, you know what I mean? So my wife always tells me, like, you better not ever, like, we're not getting pregnant no more. So,
that's so funny.
I tell her, like, we have a boy, we're gonna have to do some scientific stuff to ensure this. Like, you have to go that
do some
route.
push-ups or something, stand their head, do something, right?
I'm gonna see that they examine my stuff.
Right.
Sure. I don't even know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, but for sure, it's definitely a blessing.
Bet. All right, man. So we want to jump into the winner's circle, man. This is where we kind of talk about the platform, what you're up to, and those a couple things that you reached out to us and said you wanted to talk about, man. So I know there were 2 things, but let's just start about the financial world because I think that's big.
Right.
So talk about what you're doing and why the financial world.
Absolutely. I mean, I never seen myself getting into this industry.
Okay.
When I got my second time I went to Venezuela, I got hurt and I tore my labrum in my shoulder. So I was going to be out a whole season. I know I was going to have surgery. I wanted to get into business. So even when I was overseas, I was like buying and selling cars online and just doing, I thought about the trucking business, but I wasn't passionate about it. I just knew that it was an opportunity to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So when I met a guy who's actually running the firm here. So let me check it out. Let me see what he has to say. And it was powerful information. I mean, I'm like, dang, how come I didn't meet you 10 years ago when I first started, making money?
Right.
And he was like, yeah, this is why we do what we do. We want to get to the people. And I just seen the vision right away. Like, I knew there was, as far as athletes, a lot of times they go into coaching, they go into training, but nobody really is going into the financial side. And that's to me the most important because everything that we do every day is to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So people have to find out what to do with that money to sustain themselves. And it's, see people like, I don't know if it's Bradley Beal that said like 30% of the NBA lives paycheck to paycheck. And, you just hear the horror stories and things like that. So I'm like,
30 for 30 for the broke, right?
Man,
30 for 30.
So I wanted to make a difference, you know what I mean? And it just so happened the guy who brought me into the business is somebody that we clicked right away off of basketball. He walked on to UCLA. Baron Davis ended his career very early. There,
Whoa.
but so he just, we connected, and I just fell in love with the grind. I look at it as a sport almost. I get a chance to compete with other people in the office.
Okay.
We get great leadership. We get A1 training, so it just fit who I was as a person because I want to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me the opportunity to really sit down and make a difference. Some of the times when we sit down with people, we don't necessarily see the difference right away, but maybe 20, 30 years down the line when we sit down with that same person, you're like, yeah, you helped my children go to college. You helped me get out of debt.
That's dope.
An unexpected loss. Maybe they had life insurance, and now that life insurance is able to replace somebody's income, so they didn't have to have a GoFundMe or those type of things. So what we do to me is extremely important, and that's why I'm super passionate about it. And most people we sit in front of don't have that financial literacy. So our company's motto is "No family left behind." We feel like the entire industry has left the middle class behind, and most of the financial industry is fighting over that 1 to 3% of people that can invest $250,000 a year.
Right.
For sure.
And they neglected people like my family. Like to this day, my mother's still working because maybe nobody sat down with her and actually taught her how to be able to plan for retirement.
Yep.
Yeah.
Different vehicles that she could have been using to be able to do that. So
Making her money work for her.
for sure. So that's all we're about. We want to help people that are willing to sacrifice and really do the things that they know they're supposed to do, give them that opportunity to have that financial freedom, and that's what we're all about.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's huge. I don't want to turn this into a super race thing, but in the black community sometimes
100%.
we just don't talk about those things. I was on a call with my pops. We were doing a family call, and this was kind of one of the first times we actually talked about finances.
Shout out to Pops.
Yeah, shout out to Pops. So just, I guess, talk about that within the black community, about how, educating each other and, we can be right by our money too.
For sure. It all starts with education and, and awareness of everything that's out there. So nobody's going to do it for us. We have to go do it for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So we, and what I love about our company is I could bring somebody from our community, teach them what we do, and they can go back into the community and help serve.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that we're big on. So we need the education. And I think the mind shift is changing in black people when it comes to money.
It's getting there.
We're starting to think about, businesses. We're starting to think about coming together, pulling our resources together. Because, right now, if you tile up how much money black people bring in, I forgot the exact number, but if we're the 10th richest nation in the world if you bring all of our money together. Yes. But the thing is, the money doesn't stay in the community longer than 3 to 5 hours.
If
they
that.
did a statistic.
If that.
Wow.
So we got to realize.
When you hit other cultures and how much they recycle the dollar before it even goes outside of the community.
For sure. I think Asian communities are number one when it comes to that. And I think Jewish communities are second. And then Latino communities and we're definitely last. So we have what it takes. We just have to change our mindset when it comes to it and realize that, they call it money currency. And currency is something that brings energy. So we got to realize if we pull our resources together, pull our energy together, we can turn D Street around. That's just land just sitting there for us to be able to develop. Mm-hmm. But we have to, have a vision for that.
Yep.
We just can't, nobody can do it by themselves. We got to literally come together, put our little petty differences about religion, sex, whatever it may be that holds us back, color. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Light skin.
Hey, slow down over there.
So, we've been divided.
I got some backup with me today. You know what I mean?
Sure. We've been divided so much that we have to see the value of us coming together. If we do that together, you know what I'm saying? There's really no stopping us. We can do what everybody else is doing. We don't need to go beg anybody else to do what we can do. We don't have to protest anybody else.
We got all the skill set. We got all the resources.
For sure.
But the thing about it is, I think when Magic kind of started getting out and he pitched this stuff why he got the TGI Fridays in the hood and those movie theaters it's because he went and talked to people and he talked about an economic, and if you look at us as a people from an economic, we're the most loyal and we spend money. And that's what he kind of put out there, and then now that's why they're thriving, because he put that resource in there, and we'll go out. We like nice things, and, we'll pay those for those Jordans or whatever those things are. Sure. So people need to know about group economics, man, and that's the next stage.
Because other cultures see that in our community, so that's why they're able to come in and take the resources out and go develop their communities.
Yep.
So we just got to be smarter in how we think. So we got to pull each other up by our own bootstraps. We got to realize nobody's going to do it for us, and if we really want to get out of this condition that we find ourselves in, not even in America, all over the world. Even when I was in Israel and I was in Greece, it's the same thing. So we got to change the way we view ourselves.
It's a mindset.
We got to change. If we really had love for self, we would do better for self. We got to fall in love with ourselves again. And if we fall in love with ourselves, we're going to fall in love with our brothers and sisters, and we're not going to look at each other as enemies or as somebody that's trying to, how we kind of look at each other sometimes. So, but I think it's shifting.
That's good.
I think that paradigm has shifted.
And you're just seeing that in kind of like the work that you're doing.
Absolutely. And I'm like, people always say you can't build a big financial team and, being black and really serving a majority of the black community. They just said that you're not going to be able to do it. But right now, ask anybody in our office, I'm kicking all their backside, and most of the people I work with, are in the black community.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So, of course, I want to, be able to expand our business to other, what I mean? Because that's just diversifying, but 100%. I want to serve our people. I want to make sure we all get the fair chance, and to be able to do what we got to do.
No, this is all good stuff, man. So another thing you want to talk about, because I do want to make sure we serve time for this, is the camps you do, which is another way that you're serving and giving back to the community. So talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so one of my good friends and childhood rivals named Kevin Houston.
Okay,
it was always a debate at the YMCA, who's better, Rich or Kevin. He ended up going to Long Beach State. He didn't grow. We were like the same height all the way till 8th grade, and then he didn't grow no more. So that's my guy Kevin. But we always had a vision of coming back together, because nobody really does anything in San Bernardino. It's been kind of it's the pits. Mm-hmm. Nobody really wants to go back and do anything and build. So we decided, let's give back. He already had an AAU program that he was growing there, so we decided. My wife, she's in marketing.
Okay.
So she helped us with the marketing of the camp. Putting the website together. She called the newspaper came down and did articles about it. So, it's still in the baby phase. We're still learning as we go. So, when these type of things is all about action, you're gonna make mistakes.
For sure.
But that's what hinders a lot of people from ever starting to do anything anyways. They're always fearful of making mistakes and not doing it right. But you're not going to do it right no matter how much you study. And you might as well learn as you go. So that's kind of what we're doing.
Action. You just got to do the action, right?
Action.
You just got to
get it. And that's what we've been doing. So we're going to continue to, be able to build that. And we had a big camp set up before this. It was,
of course, all this crap.
Like we already had sponsors, we had everything, but
So what's just to give a little bit of breadth of that, what is the camp? Is it a day camp? Is it a youth camp? Is it is a certain age range, skills camp?
Right now it's like a youth thing. It's like between 6 and 13. It was co-ed and, just giving everybody an opportunity. Of course, we wanted to grow it, to have our own facility where we can start training the top players out there and things like that to really develop the talent that's out there. But, that was like the first phase of it.
Okay.
Let's get our name out there. Let's get out there, do something good and be able to, start to people to see us in the community more, because I've been gone a long time. So.
Well, it's good that you're giving back, man.
Right.
Now, are you, and this is one last quick question, and we're going to get to the next topic, but are you bringing anybody back from your network to come into these camps so they can just see other people? Is that how you guys are the platform, I guess?
Absolutely. We planned on having Antoine Wright come back, to come back, but he was actually coaching during that time, so he couldn't come back. So we had Chris Copeland.
Cope.
Yeah, we had Cope come by. So he came by, talked to him, talked about his experience. I wanted Cope to come by because he didn't have the traditional route to get to the NBA.
Yeah.
He showed a lot of perseverance and, heart to be able to get there. He's the 32-year-old rookie.
Yeah.
Did his thing. So I wanted to tell him about that journey, you know what I mean? And, and I want him to really hear that story. I think they took to it well. They just kept asking him, like, did you guard LeBron? They didn't care about none of that. Like,
That's it. That's all.
Did Melo pass you the ball?
Right. That part. All right, man. Well, the last thing we want to talk about is the assist, man. So you being a baller, you know a little thing about an assist, man. And this is where you just kind of give maybe like a mantra, maybe like some way inspirational quotes or just how you live your life. So just give us a dime, man. Drop the assist that you would share to the folks.
Okay. So the first thing that comes off my head is, the race doesn't go to the swift, but the one who can endure to the end. That's a quote from the Quran. It's Ramadan right now. I am a Muslim, so we read the whole entire Quran during the whole month of Ramadan. And it kind of goes with Nipsey, it's a marathon. So people, don't give up. It's all about the journey. Don't lose the jewels through the journey, because that's where you gain all of the things that are going to be able to strengthen you to help somebody else. Because if you don't go through that, you're not going to be able to guide anybody else that's going through that same thing that you're going through. So don't miss that on the jewels throughout the journey, and and know it's a marathon. Know it's going to take time to be able to develop, and this is not something. No matter what you do of substance, doesn't happen overnight.
Yep.
Your parents had sex and you was born that same night.
Right. It took a process.
It's a process. It's a development. You have to, you can't speed that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's a marathon.
I like it, man.
That's good stuff, man. Well, hey, man, we want to thank you for having me on the show, man.
I appreciate you guys for doing this and having this platform, and I pray that you guys continue to build this and this becomes, bigger than all the other ones that are out there, because what y'all doing is, is big time, especially for the city.
Oh, man, appreciate it, man.
We appreciate that.
Hey, well, thank you to people for listening, man. We hope you enjoyed the show. Like I said, we do have a lot of content on our social platforms, so check that out. We did post a lot in April, which was Financial Literacy Month. So now we got a plug that we can tap in to get more content for that financial literacy. And, this month is mental health. So definitely just stay on top of your mental health and that self-care. So check us out. We're Black in Sports on all your social platforms, and we're Black in Sports Podcast on your favorite podcast platforms. So just know, man, please continue to check us out. Give us feedback. Let us know who you want to see on the show, and know that we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap.